Hi, Ross.
How you doing?
Great to see you.
You too? You ready to know everything?
I'm ready to know everything.
Okay, let's do it. Today, I'm going to teach you a form of making a nice note for someone.
Okay.
I want to say before we get into this that a nice note is just so fun sometimes. You know, whether it says, I love you, you're amazing, or just saying, I've gone to the grocery store to get some milk, be back soon. Notes are a great way to communicate.
It shows you're being thoughtful.
Yeah, exactly. And I have a really fun and unique way to make notes.
I'm ready to learn.
This fun and unique way is fortune tellers.
Ooh, I think I've seen this before. It's like the thing that's folded up into almost triangular pieces, but then you can fit it in your fingers and open and close them and lift different flaps, and they show different fortunes.
You put words on each of those 4 triangular flaps after you've made it, and then you have someone pick a word, and then you spell that word. For example, if I asked you which one, and you picked flower, I would go Flower. And I would open and close it each time I said that. And on the little flaps inside, there are numbers. So I would ask you to pick a number. For example, you might pick 5. And so I'd look inside the 5 flap, and there would be a little fortune there, and I could read your fortune. But you can use the same shape and design to leave a nice note. So I'm going to tell you how to make them. You ready?
I'm ready.
Step 1 is to get a piece of paper in a shape of a square. It doesn't have to be perfect, but try to get it as close as possible. For the closer you can get it, the more even your fortune teller will be.
Sounds good. Square piece of paper, kind of like origami.
Yeah, exactly. It can be blank, it can have waves on it, doesn't matter. You fold that paper in half diagonally.
Okay.
And then you unfold it.
Okay.
Then you do the same thing with the other 2 corners and unfold them too.
Got it.
The creases should create an X. Step 2. Take one corner of the square and fold it so it meets the middle of the X. Then do the same to the 3 remaining corners. It's okay if they're a little uneven. It should look like a square with 4 triangular flaps. Step 3. Flip it over and do step 2 with the back of the fortune teller. Take one corner and fold it into the middle, and then do the same with the other corners if you forgot. Then, the very final step is to stick your fingers in the 4 pockets in the back of the fortune teller and make all the pockets meet each other. So, it looks like a fortune teller.
Wow. It is a piece of origami after all.
Pretty much, yeah. After you do that, we're going to make the words a little different. It has 4 flaps. That's enough for 4 words, right?
Sounds right to me.
So, what you can do is, if there's 4 words, why not make them say something? We're leaving a note, right? So you want the person to know who it's from and who it's for. On one square, we could write from. And then on the next square, right next to it, we could write Rasa, because I'm Rasa. Or you could write Dad or Bob or Billy Bob Joe or Ted the Pickle, whatever you want. And then you can write for Dad, Mom, whoever. So it might say something like, to Dad from Rasa. And then they could open it up, and on the flaps, instead of numbers, it just says open me or something like that. And then when you open the flaps, they spell out something like, I love you so much. Gone to the grocery store to get some milk. Let's go play basketball. Whatever.
What a lovely way to receive a note. You kind of get a toy along with your message.
Yep, sure do.
What is the favorite one of these that you've ever given?
Can it be one that I'm planning to give?
Sure.
Yeah. So, it acts like a fortune teller, but it says, to, blah, blah, from Rasa. And then, when you fold it up inside, the entire space, not just inside the flaps, is a beautiful magenta flower.
A drawing of a beautiful magenta flower?
Yeah, there's a drawing of a beautiful magenta flower.
Do you know who you're going to give that one to yet? Or are you still thinking?
Still thinking.
Well, I guess we'll see if it's Mother's Day or Father's Day first. I have a feeling it's usually Mother's Day first.
True. But who says you can't make two? Are you ready for today's poem?
Yes.
Okay, it's called Recuerdo by Edna St. Vincent Millay. We were very tired. We were very merry. We had gone back and forth all night on the ferry. It was bare and bright and smelled like a stable. But we looked into a fire and we leaned across the table. We lay on a hilltop underneath the moon, and the whistles kept blowing, and dawn came soon. We were very tired. We were very merry. We had gone back and forth all night on the ferry. You ate an apple, and I ate a pear, from a dozen of each we had bought somewhere. And the sky went wan, and the wind came cold, and the sun rose dripping, a bucketful of gold. We were very tired. We were very merry. We'd gone back and forth all night on the ferry. We hailed, "Good morrow, mother," to a shawl-covered head, and bought a morning paper, which neither of us read. And she wept, "God bless you," for the apples and pears, and we gave her all our money, but our subway fares.
Shall I read it too?
Sure.
Recuerdo by Edna St. Vincent Millay. We were very tired. We were very merry. We had gone back and forth all night on the ferry. It was bare and bright and smelled like a stable. But we looked into a fire. We leaned across a table. We lay on a hilltop underneath the moon. And the whistles kept blowing. And the dawn came soon. We were very tired. We were very merry. We had gone back and forth all night on the ferry. And you ate an apple and I ate a pear. From a dozen of each we had bought somewhere. And the sky went wan, and the wind came cold, and the sun rose dripping, a bucket full of gold. We were very tired, we were very merry. We had gone back and forth all night on the ferry. We hailed, "Good morrow, mother," to a shawl-covered head, and bought a morning paper, which neither of us read. And she wept, "God bless you," for the apples and the pears. And we gave her all our money, but our subway fares. What do you like about that poem?
I think I like the idea of going back and forth and 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 back. I think you get the idea. But anyway, I think that sounds fun to go back and forth all night.
How old do you think this couple is in the poem?
Like 20.
Yeah.
Really old, but yes.
Really old from your point of view, kind of young from my point of view?
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to see young love when it's so simple. You can lay on a hill, you can have an apple and a pear, you can see the sun, and you feel like the richest person in the world.
Yep, sure is. Last segment of the show. do you have a vexing question for me?
I do. It's a little personal, but you give pretty good advice.
Well, thank you. What's the question?
I have noticed that I'm pretty good at being nice to you. And you're pretty good at being nice to me. But when I get down on myself, I'm not that good at being nice to myself. So my vexing question is, how can I be as nice to myself as I am to you and you are to me?
Well, I feel like something that's just nice to do after a long day. Think of all the things that you have done that day that were great. So maybe if you helped someone up after they'd fallen, or gave someone a really big hug, or even just lended someone your eraser, you can just think of that and be like, yay, I am so great. Not in a bad way, though. You're not like, yes, I'm the best person ever.
That's nice. So don't just count all the bad things I did, or the things I regret, or the things I didn't get done. Also do just as good a job, at least, of counting the good things and the people I helped and the ways I was nice or tried to be.
Exactly.
All right? I'll keep practicing, and I will take how much I love you as my best example.
Love you too. You Must Know Everything was produced by me, Rasa Smith, and him, Jeremy Smith. And the amazing music was by Furniture. Please rate, review, and share the show. And please tune in next time for everything you need to know.